Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to A Place in Space. You find us recently returned from the Comic-Con, so don't panic. If it looks a little bit bare behind you, we're still in the process of restocking the shop. Also, this week, we have some brand new filming technology being utilised, by which I mean that's the Chief's hand. So I'm going to get this right in one time so Chief doesn't go home looking like a giraffe. That's my job. But for now, let's do Tuesday, which is, of course, new comic play. Predator #1. Yes, it was just very recently. Predator #1 came out from Marvel, but the boys at the House of the Mouse, boys and girls, have kept this rolling. Ed Brisson is here for a brand new #1. I have to say, after flicking through this, they've upped the violence considerably much. So much so they've buried a little parental advisory right there in the corner. But that looks like an awesome little restart. You're straight off to 2056 at this point, so we're set firmly in the future. Very, very cool stuff indeed. Now, New Mutants, bear with me there. New Mutants, Lethal Legion are back, but you've got a brand new creative team. Marvel are making a lovely big song and dance about the bedazzling new team on this one. This looks very cool. New Mutants is not an unfamiliar concept to us all, but let's see where that one goes, because that sounds all kinds of fun. Also, I apologise, because last time I called Bloodline Daughter of Blade. I called it a one-shot, live, on camera. I was wrong. I usually am. Anyway, this is part of a new ongoing mini. Yeah, I can't quite work it out. After researching, I can't work out if Marvel want to keep this going for a 12-issue maxi, a 6-issue mini, or it's just ongoing. If any of you know, let me know, because I'm keen to find out there. Initially, I thought it was a one-shot. Scarlet Witch issue 3. Now, this is Steve Orlando bringing out the big guns here. Wanda is massive, I think it's fair to say at this point. TV shows, everyone interested in the character has peaked within the last couple of years of sure. Steve Orlando is doing a sterling job of keeping this story going. That is beautiful, and I want to say as well, Sarah Pacelli deserves all the credit in the world for her ongoing interiors and that. I really hope she sticks on that book, because that is beautiful. Like way back when she was working with Bendis, of course, on the early days of Spider-Man or Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2, through to now. 20 years in the game, Sarah, and you just get better. Love it. Okay, speaking of 20 years in the game, Laura Kilney, or aka X-23, aka Daughter of Logan, however you want to say it, she has been in for a wild ride these last few years, movies abound and whatnot. It's nice to see Marvel doing a lot with her. This is, of course, the facsimile to her first #1, so don't be caught out. I'm not just digging out the back issues here. That is being reprinted if you missed it the first time round, and many of us did. She really has caught us out these last couple of years with how much this character has grown in the general awareness of her. It's very cool, and I'm not just saying that for no reason. She's back. This is set within her days of X-Force. Okay, so this is when she was doing some really quite dark stuff as one of the unlicensed/licensed killers Marvel had to offer at the time. That looks very cool. But yeah, also that trope goes from when she was in the X-Force directly to when she was in the X-Men. So that's set within a neat little time period there for her. And finally, from Marvel, Fantastic Four have been doing the last, I'm sure you've noticed if you've been reading it, but if you haven't, each one of the last preceding 4 issues was a nice little kind of recap one-shot issue dedicated to a particular character. Of course, the 4. Issue 5 is where it kicks off proper and they start going on their roadly adventures. So if you wanted to dive straight in, you could happily do so from issue 5. It's almost, if you like, an issue #1. Very cool. I do want to draw attention to Mr. Alex Ross. This video could almost be called Alex Ross's video, because he's done the cover A. He has done the cover C, which is just Alex Ross being a babe, frankly, because that looks delicious, and we will speak more about him in the coming few minutes. DC time. John Kent is fighting Ultraman, it's clear to say, and it's all going a little bit crazy. There are some tasty new first appearances in here, new Superman all happening. It's very interesting, actually. That is part of DC's new direction for all things super and blue. Looks very cool. I have to say, that's a bright, engaging book. I like that. I love my DC dark and gritty, of course. I love Batman fan, but it is really, really nice to see DC flip that kind around and explore new territory. Very cool. Right, this one caught me out a little bit. This is Batman 357, the facsimile. Now, Bat fans among you may well know this one as the first appearance of Killer Croc's first full appearance of Killer Croc. Previously appearing, I think, in the issue before, name dropped as Waylon Jones. You might have to correct me there, but I think. Didn't realise this was the first appearance of Jason Todd as well. Jerry Conway, you sneaky bastard, dropping 2 big first appearances in the same issue. Love it. Now, I'm sure I have mentioned to you before, but facsimiles reproduce the issues as closely as they can with the original adverts to recreate how that first appeared. Very cool. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about what I'm about to show you. This is also a facsimile, but with a brand new shiny foil cover. Now, I may be in the minority here, because this thing sold like absolute gangbusters this week. It certainly was never produced with a foil cover back in the day. This is a brand new thing from DC. Let me know what you think, because I have to say, personally, it's not for me. But we sold so many this week that I'm clearly wrong. So Anyway, if you've got any thoughts on that, let me know, because I like my facsimiles as close to the original as possible, but clearly the market has gone this week full cover, I want it. And I have to say, it's a very cool thing. But I suppose if you put out two like that, I suppose I'm always going to go for that one. That's just me being a prickly bastard, but hey ho. Dynamite time. Chuck Brown brings you Deja Thoris #1, time for a new series. I have to say, that's a gorgeous cover by Miss Lyrix Lee. She has been increasing her talent no end these last couple of years. She does pin-up and pulp, up there with the best of them. And Dynamite, I would say, are utilising her talents to the extreme right now. That's very, very cool. But if there's a book I want to speak to you about this week, it is this. This is Clear #1. Now, you've got some raucous talent on this. Scott Snyder, working with Francis Manapul. He says not able to pronounce Francis properly because I'm too excited. Now, both of these boys, I think it's fair to say at this point, came to prominence during DC's New 52. Obviously, Scott was working over with Greg Capullo on Batman, and Francis Manapul was, I did it again, Francis Manapul was working over on Flash, and they honed their talents. This is a cyberpunk noirish thriller. The main protagonist, I'm going to go boldly here, is called Sam Jones, I think I remember seeing. Now, in this futuristic dystopian whirling existence, everyone is experiencing things with different filters. Everyone sees life ever so slightly differently. Apart from Sam Jones, who's elected to not see it. So if you wanted to see the world as an anime in black and white through glass, you could. And he is living life outside of that vision. And it's very, very, very dark, despite being beautifully rendered by Francis Manapul. That's part 1 of 3. The third part that Scott Snyder's been doing is a Comixology Originals, which Dark Horse are publishing in the flesh. Very excited to see where that one goes. That's big, that's meaty, that's chunky. I can see why it's only going to be a third part. That's going to be a big graphic novel by the time it's collected anyway. Really, really excited to see where that one goes. There's a bunch of covers. We've got a ton online. Get looking for that one, because that, I reckon, is going to be absolutely book of the week by a long shot. Covers of the week. There's tons to talk about here. So I'm going to put some of these in the covers of note category, just because they're worth talking about. They might not be as visually stunning as some of the other things I want to pull out, but they're worth talking about. Disney are going strong on their Disney 100 What If covers. So this is obviously homaging / tributing the Hulk #1. Very cool there. Is that Goofy on the front? That is Goofy on the front, doing his thing if he was big and green. We go a little bit more gritty now. That's Derek Chew on the Batman 1 in 25 variant this week. I know we were just talking about how light and fluffy DC can be when they're doing John Kent, but when they're doing dark and gritty, that's very cool. No less so on this one. This is Art Germ, or Stanley to his ma, giving you part 3 of his 4-part series of Batman variants. That is the Joker in black and white. Check out the green foil 1 in 50 if you can this week as well. That's very hot. To go darker and grittier, this is Lee Bermejo on his The Joker Who Stopped Laughing, The Man Who Stops Laughing. Part 5? Part 6, I apologise. Part 6 variant. That's delicious if you like it dark. Very cool. Alex Maleev, Silver Surfer. That's issue 2 variant for that. Alex Maleev is incredible. No matter what he does, no matter what cover he graces, he's awesome. A few quick ones to finish off. WandaVision, that's David Nakayama being an absolute babe as always. The man just seems to get better. That's a very fun, playful cover. And here we're going to whiz through a few quick ones from Alex Ross. Please, please, please only buy these online. We have a few on the shelf, but I can't put them on the subscription because there's so many the system can't currently cope. So if you want them, eBay is your friend, and we will have a few on the wall. That's X-Men Timeless Villains variant, issue 20. I'm going to whiz through these, but they will be online if you want them. That's Scarlet Witch, issue 3, Alex Ross, Timeless variant. Scroll Time on Fantastic Four, issue 5. I know we were just talking about Alex Ross, but yeah, he's done 3 for this book. That's his 3rd and final for this one. And the Avengers has got the 66 Ultron Timeless Villain variant there, and a few, well, 3 now to finish up, because I frankly cannot pick. I know it's been a long video, so thank you for sticking with me up until this point. This is the International Women's Day variant by Skylar Partridge for Poison Ivy. I love that. The fungi growing on her. It looks nauseating, it looks creepy, but also weirdly sensual. It's everything. It's dark, it's malicious, and also weirdly soothing. Love it. The more I look at it, the more it creeps me out in a good way. Jenny Frison has just gone straight up Shakespearean with an absolute beauty. But Joshua Middleton and the highest selling cover of the week by far speaks for itself. Absolutely beautiful piece of pin-up artwork by Joshua. The man is unbeatable in this category at this point. I think it's fair to say. Absolutely adore that. Anyway, That's it for me for this week. I think Chief's arm's about to fall off, so I'm going to hurry up and go home. But yes, please do, if you don't already, like, comment, share and subscribe. I'm sure there will be buttons here or here. If you can, that'd be awesome. Do let us know if you've got any comments racing through the video that you think, oh, I'll let them know. Because the more we hear from you, the more we love it. So hope you all have a wonderful week. And we will see you at another Comic-Con in the near future. Thank you for turning up over the weekend. That was awesome. And I'm sure Chief and I will catch you in some videos this week. So much love, have fun, and I'll catch you in a little bit. Bye-bye.